Well, hello there, and welcome in. This is the Cosmic Watch. I'm Franklin, your astrologer, and we are available. I mean, me and the other uh, people who work with me here at weforetell.com. That's where you'll find us and where you can book appointments with us. And of course, here on YouTube, where we also feature pre-recorded videos of the horoscopes and things like tarot card lessons where you can understand the cards and compatibility videos between the different signs. Can a Pisces live with a Scorpio for over 50 years? Yes, it's very possible. And here on the Cosmic Watch, we also open up the doors to the studio, and the subscribers are able to come in to our chat room. And during the next hour, we will answer any questions they might have, do readings for them, and find out how things have been going for them this week, where we had the full moon, Cancer full moon that we've just kind of come out of, where the moon sign is in Leo tonight, and of course our sun sign is in Capricorn again tonight. So if you were if you are born on this particular date, then you're a Capricorn, and boy, those 10th house, the 10th house is all about career, and this is what Capricorn's ambition is. The name of the game. If you're a Capricorn, and the as you climb that ladder of success, you find Capricorns that you're ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of getting what you deserve. It's learning your karmic lessons. And today's date would add up to 30. So in numerology, a person born on this date is a 3 plus 0 equals 3. And that's the gifts of expression and intuition. The 303, and these are very, not only very sensitive people, but they are also able to express what's in their heart, to inspire others, to lead other people to do the right thing. So it's a good number to be born under. And you know something? They all are. There's only differences in the different signs and the different numbers. And we're joined in the chat room first tonight by Heather. Heather says, good evening. Good evening to you, Heather. Nice to have you with us tonight. Any particular questions that you'd like to look at tonight, or would you rather that we did a reading on you? There's there's a connection that works right through our chat room, and it's the same we use as telephone psychics, and that's what I was saying a minute ago. The other telephone psychics, there's a lot of us, are all right here for you. And Heather says, any love coming for 2024, this new year that we're just about to come into? Yes, let's have a look at that. Heather's guides are connecting with my guides. My guides are connected to my fingertips. They tell me what card I'm going to pull up. And Heather, the answer to your question is Yes, yes. There's payback that's coming. This is truth. See, they're wearing blue. That's the color of truth. And this is um, payback for something that you did for someone else. Something in your past that you did is going to be paid back in in kind by a kindness from someone. So that's what to expect in the new year. And of course we ask for your love life. So that would mean that this person, it almost certainly is returning. So that's what's ahead. Heather says New Year's always about celebrating Zachary turning 10 on Sunday. Oh man! So his birthday is going to be on Sunday, which is what, the 31st, the last day of the year, and a Capricorn, and let's see now. Okay, so I believe that makes him a 6. And this, wow, you looked right through it, didn't you? That's exactly who's really the love of your heart. Well, of course. And yes, coming in 2024, even better times for the two of you together. So that looks great. It really does. For a good 2024. You know, 2023 added up to the number 7. And 7, while it is the spiritual number, in a sense, was making us be spiritual, right? By forcing us to ask for help. That's why so many disappointments last year. Heather says, of course, he is my little man. And aren't, you know, children truly are just small people, and they always react to however they're treated. If you treat them as people, they'll act like people. though though one thing has to follow another. You know, my grandparents were very strict, so my parents were completely not strict. And so now I turned out the way I turned out. I I have a hard time thinking how to deal with my children. Are you too strict? Are you too loose? There's such a fine line, right down the middle. And of course, the middle road is the one to take, and that children understand these things. That's the wonderful thing about children. Heather says it is hard to find the balance point, and that's always what you're looking for. It's it's the point where everybody can get along, where everybody, um, no one's trying to force their ideas on other people. And that's one of the big problems between young people and old, especially between young people that are still at home and very old people, is that they both think that they have to make decisions for the other. It's the same thing between men and women, isn't it? They both think that each other is so mistake prone that they have to make decisions for each other. And this is what causes so many problems. Here's Cody joining us saying, hi, Cody. I have I've been pretty well. I lived through the year 2023, and sometimes that's about the best that you can hope for. But 2024 really promises to be a much better year. You see, the 2023, there was so much of taking that one step ahead and then taking two steps back. Cody, do you have any questions tonight, or would you rather just flip a card and see whoo, yeah, and take that? So we'll see if Cody has a particular question as we come out of the full moon and into the last couple of days of this retrograde. Finally, we're going to end the retrograde. Cody says to surprise him. So we'll take a look at what's coming along in the upcoming year for Cody. Okay, all right. Then in the upcoming year, ooh, not a bad card at all, Cody. This means something that needs to come to an end finally does. And this is like making your New Year's resolution, isn't it? You know exactly what's going on there. One thing has to come to an end. The old cycle has to end before the new can come in. And moving ahead is such a hard thing to do because we all get stuck in the most comfortable rut, in the most comfortable step of our karmic path. And it's just as bad as trying to skip ahead and jump ahead in your karmic path as to get stuck in one particular step. And sometimes we need to be shaken to stir, right? And move ourselves along to what comes next. Sometimes coming to an end, something is coming to an end. Yes. Yeah. That's what this is all about. And it's almost surely something that needed to come to an end. And that's how you know that things are either meant to be or not. Everything that we do is, if it were not good for the evolution of the entire bunch of us, if it were not good for our enlightenment, we would not have been provoked to do it by circumstances beyond our control. When circumstances drive you to do things, you have to answer the call. And this is how very often our spirit guides lead us along. And Cody says, honestly, I can see that. That's it's seeing things is believing it. And this is why the retrograde of planets that we're finishing up here this weekend is such a big deal. Because people have been able to see this with the naked eye, they have been able to believe that it causes delays. And I'll be if it doesn't, because it's been going on for so long. Remember Copernicus, the 1500, the one who says the earth is not flat? Copernicus got the idea of the sun being the center of the earth by watching the retrograde of the planets, the moving supposedly backwards. It only made sense if things were circling the sun, and the only way for that to happen was the earth not to be flat. So its retrogrades have always been a pretty important thing, and we've got 3 more of them coming up in 2024, and the first one will be in April, and then one in August, and then one that starts in late November. And during these times, it's you're going to regress. You're going to have the retrograde means you're going to have a second chance at doing whatever you've just finished up doing. whatever you thought was finished, it is suddenly going to fall apart and make you do it again. So you'll do it better. So you'll have a chance to do it better. This is what retrogrades are all about. It's giving you a second chance to show you that you don't have to be perfect. And that's really the secret of all time, isn't it? That you've been forgiven. You don't have to be perfect, because nothing you've done in any former lifetime has done you any permanent damage. It has not harmed that spirit within you. And to know that is, man, that lifts such a load off your shoulders. And to know that even your enemies don't have to be perfect. We're all here for a reason. We're all here to show each other something. And some of us, sure, we get in each other's way sometimes. But we're all on the same boat. All of us, animals included, see? We're all on the same ship, headed in the same direction. And to throw any spirit overboard for any reason is just going to slow down the evolution of our spirits. It's going to slow down our enlightenment, and not only ours. We were talking about spirit guides a minute ago. Think about how many spirit guides there must be now waiting in the spirit world, because we all have to go to God together. We all have to go at one time, waiting for total enlightenment. And I think this is why they push us so hard, and sometimes to make us learn our lessons here as we all try to get along. And the year that's coming up is going to add up to an 8, 2024. And what's going to happen in the 8 year is that you're going to reap whatever you've sown over the past 7 years. You're going to get what you deserve. Cody says, I've realized this year was my 9th year in a cycle, see? And next year will be my 1st year. That means I get to start over. And that is so true. This is what reincarnation is all about, getting a second chance. No human can learn it all in any one lifetime. The Buddha had to experience over 300 lifetimes. You can't do it all in any one lifetime, and you can't expect other people to get it in one lifetime, right? That we're all just here trying to keep trying. This is, there is a negative side to this universe. And the negative side says, stop trying, give up. You've already passed the point of no return to get back to your spiritual self. I mean, look around the world. Look at these people. How can they ever get back? And you have to fight against that. You have to know that you don't have to be perfect to get meaning out of this lifetime. How about that? No matter if you learn anything or not in this lifetime, you get to cross something off your bucket list of lives that you had to try in order to work out your karma. You came into this life with your karma a little bent, and you tried one way of fixing it, whatever you did in this lifetime, and are still doing, and can change tomorrow. Now, isn't that a wonderful thought? That Anytime you wake up with a new consciousness. Whatever you learned, not only yesterday, but last night. And to wake up is a miracle, to give you a chance to know that you don't have to be perfect in order to get the real meaning out of this lifetime. And here's Heather saying, chapter out of lesson book. Yes, 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 and that's why we're here, is to be able to see that even the scriptures written thousands of years ago were written with the intent of us today being able to see them. That's why things like Moses, Jesus, the Buddha, they all use fables, parables, stories about real people and animals to show us timeless themes. You know, when Moses was writing about Cain and Abel, the way you know that it's a fable is to know that the name Cain means one who hates, and the name Abel means one who's here for a very short time, like a gust of wind. And if you know that, then you realize that it is a fable. So what was Moses trying to tell us in that story? It's that Cain had to learn the lesson of controlling his temper, controlling anger. And Abel had to learn the lesson that revenge doesn't satisfy you. It goes on forever. Revenge does not heal the past. And it doesn't change the past. The past is unchangeable. So revenge is really the thing that Moses was trying to say is the worst thing that you can do. And so that's how you have to look at all of the stories that come down to us, is that over the centuries, of course, they change. If they are truly sacred, their meaning will change. That was the whole point. Moses was the first historian to write it down so people could use it forever. And here we are, and we're still reading these holy books and getting new meanings all the time out of them. And that just shows you that you're on the right path, that it really is a very spiritual world out there that you can connect to, because everyone on this planet breathes the same air. And it's breathing in that same air and out again and recycling it that we do for each other. Everyone and every animal that's on the planet is still breathing the same molecules that have been here forever, since people began, right? And these contain all of the karma that's ever been in life. All the good, all the bad. Every time you take a breath, you're breathing in the spirit world, allowing it inside your mind. This is why transcendental meditation is all about concentration upon your breath. If you can truly concentrate upon your own breath, you can meditate with this world and the next. It's a trip. And these are the things that every human mind is open to, if they're open to it. That's what we learn, and as we go through life, is that anything is possible if you think it is. And your spirit guides are always trying to distort your vision a bit. There's so many things that they can flash in your mind as you walk right past the place you thought you were going to, right? Just like it wasn't there. And this is how they can help you along and guide your steps. And also, a great way to do that is by using astrology and looking ahead and seeing what's coming. And that's what we're going to do tonight, is to go through 2024 and have a look at the general influence that's going to be up for each one of those months. Cody says, I enjoy a good storyteller. I've had people tell me good stories. and think about the oral tradition that went on for thousands of years before people started writing things on cave walls even. It's people, the monks that were around the Buddha memorized his every word, and they spent their time reciting those words to each other. And about 100 years after he died, they finally all decided to disperse and go take those words to the world. Cody says, if the price is right. Oh boy, they're still trying to get those words out across the world, and to someday bring contentment to the world. That's the that has to be the goal, is for us all to live together and do it, find our goal in life, our purpose, our life. To find your life purpose. When I say all you have to do is forgive, you say, but with my enemies, that would be the hardest thing on earth for me to do. And I would say, congratulations. You just figured out the secret of the ages. Whatever is hardest, whatever you consider to be most impossible, must be why you're here. If your life purpose was to do the easiest thing, you would already have reached enlightenment. And if it were to do the easiest thing for one lifetime, then because we all do the easiest thing, then we would have reached total worldwide enlightenment. And I believe that the one thing in this world that the whole world can agree on is that we have not yet reached our total enlightenment. So it's about doing what is most impossible, and that is so often loving our enemies. And it is. Couldn't be any harder than that, not could it? But if you want this to be your last life, well, that's the lesson to learn within yourself, and to pass along to your children. And boy, isn't that the real trick of this universe, is everything we do passes along to our children, grandchildren, great grandchildren. It's just an incredible world that we have created for ourselves out there as we try to make our way through it. And we have to work together in order to do that. So back to next year. The new year is just right around the corner. As we make our New Year's resolutions, these are the things that will be pushing you along through the next year. The first retrograde comes up in April. In January of the coming year, 2024, someone will inspire your creativity and inspire you to take action. So you're going to have a big effect on somebody else by what you do. In February, like plants need rain, you need outside the box thinking. So, boy, that very often is accepting help from someone that you don't really care for. It's, in March, you're advised to look back. It's a repeat, and you know exactly how to handle the scene that's developing in March. In April, there's a teammate of yours somehow who quits, and all plans around that are going to have to change, and you're going to have to change. In the month of May next year, your attraction for drama will be leading to options and choices. Cody says, I've had people look, I look to like Walt Disney and Jackie Gleason and Oscar Wilde. And I've also, Orson Welles, yes. I've always felt that, that they were good storytellers too. That's why they all went on stage, right? Was to be able to move people, and boy, that's what I see in performers today, entertainers who can move people and connect with whatever crowd they have. You know, they all have their own listeners out there, and to see them connect and become a part of the crowd, to take the crowd and sing it back to them, and the crowd understands that they understand, and that's where entertainment it is really coming so personal now, even with the crowds who are following the entertainers around now. And where did we get to in going through? I believe we're up to June, and in June it's going to be time to think we and not I. And we're now joined in the chat room by Larry. Larry asking, will 2024 be better for me than 2023? Yeah. For you in particular, Larry, 2024. Let's look at Larry for the upcoming year. And so, well, short answer is yes, and it's as the messages that you've been receiving psychically, the spirits that have been coming to you. That's what you receive in the upcoming year, is what they want to bring to you. And then look at how many. It's the card's an 8, and it's the coming years an 8, and 8 is about abundance. It's about sometimes receiving more than you can use. You know, it's very often it's about an overload, and that's yeah. So 2024, Larry, looks like a very good year for you, and answering answering the messages that that answering the prayers that you've sent. That's what those are. You spent the entire year asking for for what you're asking for, and that's what that's the promise of the new year that you will receive. So yes, that's very good for the upcoming year. Yeah, and I think that really is. Uh, Boy, I hope that's a message for me too. I very often, um, well, I almost always get a message for myself through any of the readings that I do for anybody. That's why I enjoy doing the readings, because it helps me to read myself and to know maybe what's coming up tomorrow, at least be able to duck, as you go through the door. So we're looking at next year, and where do we get to? Through June, through the first half. So in July of 2024, the tip you receive now needs to be acted upon immediately. So you're going to get who knows what kind of idea. In July, somebody's going to maybe whisper to you, and you're advised to act on that, to uh, use what comes to you, to accept, no matter who that tip. Um, maybe this is something you overhear from somebody, right? And you're going to be able to use it, no matter who it comes from. So that's what to expect in July. In August, oh boy, abusing the privilege of having money in past lives can now show up at the wrong time and make you refuse just what we were talking about. So that's through the summer. That's July and August. What uh, you've scared yourself in a previous life by what you did with money, and so it's going to show up uh, as as you refusing the help of the universe, what the universe wants to give you, by giving it to you through maybe a source that you don't really care for. Now, in September of next year, what has happened so far this year now adds up, and it'll make sense to you, and you're going to be able to understand by September what's been happening to you throughout the year. And then in October, arguments in October over suppressed feelings and unspoken things. Cody says, with great entertainment of live comedy, musical in variety shows. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's so much going on with with the entertainment world, because it's one of the last businesses that seem to exist in this country anymore. The younger set is just going into the media business. If they're not designing games, they're being entertainers themselves. And either way, it's to connect with each other, and they do. They look to us to be loners, and we want to tell them what to do. We want to advise them, and they're just being themselves, and they have to do it their way. Cody says many other of the great the programming on radio and television has as television has grown up and at the same time I did. I, you know, I watched some of the original shows in the early 1950s as a little child, and then watched it really morph into the the medium uh, that is split so in so many directions. It, we have such a video overload of every different possible opinion that people have um, don't believe anything they hear or see anymore. They really actually don't believe what they see. And we used to be able to depend on that. Once you showed somebody something, they would believe it. And now I think we've lost that ability. Heather says, waiting to fly like the Jetsons. Well, or think about Star Trek and moving through the transporter, right? We virtually do that by throwing our image, across the world and having real time communication by satellite for the other side of the world just completely opens things up. There can be we 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 can actually find out about the people on the other side of the world, and it gives us a chance to understand them and care about them and to live with them instead of in fear of whoever lives on the other side. And, that's one thing, Heather, about the Jetsons is that he didn't even have well, he had a job. Yeah, okay. It was a sitcom, wasn't it? So he did have a job. But uh, there was no industry, was there? And that's the thing about Star Trek. You were either in the military or I don't know what was the job. What did the people do in the 25th century? And we're starting to find that out by having the amount of leisure time that we have, and by filling every minute of it by having that itinerary, right, and following it down to the letter, and doing something of every hour all the time. And this is sooner or later we've got to slow down. We have to take our foot off of the gas pedal and stop wanting to yeah, fly like the Jetsons. Well, what we want to do is fly like the Condor, right? And just get higher and higher, and that only means you're going to come down harder and harder. So, taking care of the animals is a big thing. Um, there's Heather says, yes, we do. Less time trained. And I just want to fly. Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't it be great to have a jetpack and to have that um, technology without, without fouling up the entire air? Right? Okay, so we got to October, and then October is arguments are coming over the suppressed feelings and unspoken things. That's our look at October of 2024 coming up. In November, there will be intense chemistry with someone, and this could bring an explosive situation. And then to finish up the year, in December, you mean what you say, even if you didn't mean to say it. So be careful of, yeah, try to be careful of what you say next December. And here we are right now in the end of through January the 1st. This is the very end of the Mercury retrograde. And what we're seeing is a repeat of what happened just before Christmas. So whatever happened before Christmas time, we're getting a chance to a second chance at that, and we get a chance to do it better. And uh, get another opportunity to do it a different way, because that's what we're supposed to learn from our past, is not to repeat it in the same way with the same attitude. Because if you do, then you learn nothing from the past, and you delay your own evolution toward your movement towards your enlightenment. And we all will fly together. We'll all take a needed trip together, and we'll all help each other as we get to the place where we can work together as one. There must be a time in this world when we, uh, we all work together for the common good, and stop the competition and uh, the things that go on in this world that don't really accomplish anything. And vengeance is certainly one of those things. And revenge begets revenge, and there is no end to it, and it's counterproductive in the end. And it's a thing that delays our evolution. It keeps us from being able to turn this earth into heaven on earth. Why not? If we all believe it is, it will be. It is like anything else in this world. If we all believe it, it might even be a UFO if we all believe it. Back in 1947, when people thought they were seeing the UFOs, they all kind of thought they were seeing the same thing. We all had this fear we had of little green men and the aliens invading us in these flying saucers. I think that was the negative side of the universe, putting it in your eye, that shiny thing that they can put in your eye to make you walk right by the place you were going to. And so what we're seeing now as the UFOs is the negative side of the universe has evolved along with us. They're using the moves that were invented for spaceships in our games, right? Now, these supposed UFOs they see now defy the laws of physics. They can't be real, so they must be in the beholder's eye, and they must be based upon what we know, what's already in our mind. This is the negative side of the universe playing games with us, making us be scared of each other. And that was the whole point of the UFOs in the 1940s, was to make countries afraid of each other, that we would eventually drop bombs on each other. So that's that in Copernicus. See, you've learned something in the program tonight, if nothing else. And as we get into the new year, there's a lot going on, and I feel like if this is the gift of love coming from the universe, it's an overflowing gift of love. This is the opportunity that we all have in the upcoming year, and that this is going to be a good time for change. Cody says, we sure did back in the late 20s and 30s, and from that long point of time, and believe from the 3 networks showing us historical events. Yeah, well, the 3 networks were changed by a man named Rune Arledge. The guy who came up with the idea of the wide world of sports, the agony of defeat, right? Rune Arledge was so successful as the sports guy, they put him in charge of the ABC News, and he livened it up. And that was the change. News has never been the same. Right after that, we had cable news, and that has caused such a problem because cable news began as 24-hour news, and there was not 24-hour news. So in the beginning, what they did was just tape the program and play it over and over. And then eventually they had to come up with programming for 24 hours and the 7 day a week. And the real problem today is that all news programs have a sales department. They all go out and they sell it a year in advance. It's already paid for. Whether or not there's any news, they're going to have something on. Now, this time of the year, you turn on the national news and you see it's about 90% or more of just heartwarming tales of and the same with the local news. They barely even report the crime this time of year. So the news programs have begun reporting on each other. Talk about creating the news. That's how they have to fill the programming. So it is it's up to us to be able to discern if there really is anything out there that will bring us together, because that's why we're here. It is to be able to work together. I hear my dog barking in the back there. It must be about time to go, right? Cody says that happened during the 20th century. Boy, isn't that the truth? It's, you know, 25 years has just blown past. Imagine it's going to be 2024. Whatever happened to Y2K, right? Nothing happened with Y2K. That's what it was. So we are feeling our way into this new century. But, in the last 100 years, think about the changes that have been forced upon people. I mean, I literally saw the invention of drugs that came in the late 1950s. Hey, here's Kiki saying hi. Kika, would you like to ask a question, dear, or you want a card turned for you? How do you feel about 2024? Anything I could answer for you, dear? And she says, happy holidays. Yes. This is this is a time of year when we can all kind of let our guard down. And all right, how does Seth feel about me? We had a hard time with Seth the last time we tried, didn't we? What do I get on him now? Traveling, messenger. Have you not heard from him? Cody is sending a message about the old Gleason show and all of the characters that were done. You got the feeling that he was trying to save money by playing all the parts himself, right? And this is how television seems to be now, is really built around a much smaller cast and much more personal, because I guess so many people watch on their telephones as as a way of watching now. And that's a huge change. It's almost like the old televisions, which were like 16-inch televisions in black and white. That was the original, and that you could buy in pawn shops forever, and you could put your TV anywhere, but it didn't necessarily pick up the television stations, because if you had rabbit ears on the top, you could adjust your rabbit ears, and then you had a chance of being able to pick up the signal. So they decided to bring on color TV, and they of course had to put on color television to make it possible. And Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color is the first thing I can remember as being on a color. Of course, we didn't have a color TV, so but you could tell that it was different colors, right? Oh boy, it really gave way to what we have now, which is almost too good, right? It's it's almost better than real, and it's such a strange a strange way to actually see people. Well, that's all the time that we have tonight, and we will be back on next Friday night, same time, same channel. I'd like to say thank you for all of those who participated in our show tonight. Remember to hit the thumbs up button to show your support. I'm Franklin, and I do appreciate you being here.